Now, this week we have been a busy nation, and apparently we have been busy discussing very pressing matters, or are they? Now, we are talking about the fratricide in opposition coalition NASA, the number of MPs making the intra-Jubilee switch from Kieleweke to Tanga Tanga and vice versa, or the forced listing of all of us into political parties, fraudulently, I should say. The BBI case, whether we should elect semi-literate leaders or those who are learned, and many other related quarrels. Yes, indeed, we have been a very busy nation, so busy that we missed something quite spectacular, I would say, that happened in the country this week. A regulatory body here in Kenya, known as the National Biosafety Authority, approved the release of genetically modified cassava into the hands of farmers. Of course, there are still a few steps left before the crop can be near you. But the net effect is that in a year or two, Kenyan farmers will be able to grow the GM cassava in their farms and backyards. Now, I bring this up because this is an extremely important development. First, because this is the first time genetically modified cassava is being availed to farmers anywhere in the world. But secondly, because this touches on an important crop, which is a staple in many parts of this country. In our particular case, the scientists have embedded in the crop the ability to resist the cassava brown streak disease, which can wipe out an entire season's crop. Now, the disease is, for the most part, why cassava, which used to dot many villages, has now largely disappeared. Now, this might not sound like the juicy stuff that engages us on social media all day long. It's not as inviting, perhaps, for example, as attempts by Mike Sonko to regain his lost seat, or that tired debate on whether NASA is still dead or is now alive. But my angle tonight is choosing to celebrate these Kenyans who are working quietly day and night in laboratories and trial fields, away from the public glare, to find solutions to real problems affecting you and I. I have in mind, for instance, the largely unnoticed scientists at the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, who are undertaking life-changing research on a global pandemic that has turned the world upside down. The team that produced that groundbreaking study, for instance, published in the world-famous Nature magazine, showing just how many Kenyans had possibly come into contact with the new coronavirus. We have not even spoken about the plant and animal scientists at the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Organization, KALRO, working to produce improved seeds and crop varieties and animal breeds. And do you remember the kangaroo mother care for preterm babies at the Kenyatta National Hospital, a great innovation that became a global sensation? I will not forget the young innovators that only recently gave the country the all-new digital National Land Information Management System that finally put every piece of real estate in Nairobi in a computer, and soon it will be the whole country. I could go on, and you too can add to this list of the unseen, unsung heroes. Now, I recognize that in this country, we love politics. Indeed, in newsrooms, there is a running joke, which is founded in some truth, that every time the newspaper headline does not have a story about this or that politician, the sales will dip. But isn't it time we paid more attention to those invisible heroes who work in quiet corners every day to improve our lives? Can we finally begin to recognize our scientists? Can we begin to trust our scientists more and not inundate every project with foreign expertise, even where local skills would do just fine? And can we invest more in research? This is what makes the whole difference for countries such as South Korea and Israel. It's heartening that the new curriculum, CBC, makes it possible for children to start pursuing science and indeed other fields earlier in their education journey. This can only be a good start, but we must learn to celebrate the scientists who are already making a difference. Only then can the young children have real role models to look up to. Besides, that might just be a better conversation than arguing all year long about whether NASA, the coalition, is still dead or is now alive again. That is my angle tonight.